Guys, let's just jump straight in because as you can see, with the first 26 hours of sales, I've got my 18 and my 8 mixed up. Time, Blair. Anyway, low sales. That's the point I want to get across to you straight away. Low sales. Now, I have seen quite a lot of people just comment and say, saving the wallet this week. Don't care for this Rust this week. A lot of people dismiss this, and you know what? That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but what that's now led to is the fact that these skins honestly look as if they could be the lowest selling skins for their items, and that's quite absurd. So, of course, let's now switch over and take a look and see. It is a little bit later. Refresh. Okay. Popstar SKS very likely could be the lowest selling SKS we've ever seen. But the Popstar collection is super in demand and crazy. Yeah, and even then. But the sales we saw initially, it very likely could sell less than the Carrot SKS, which only managed to get 8,700-ish subscribers. I do believe that could still manage to surpass this, but the fact that it's selling so little is absurd. Now, let's also point out, take a look at all these SKSs. What do you notice? Only one of them's in the positive. The Abyss SKS. Now, the Abyss collection's in demand, isn't it? I'm sure we'd agree. But what also helped this out is the fact that it sold next to nothing. Less than 10,000 subscribers. Well, guess what? This also is pretty much in the exact same position. So, okay. A lack of sales could actually help it out and probably make it end up becoming a much better skin, a much better investment. I'll also point out, this is referred to as having a modified site, transparency and whatnot. I've already made a short video showcasing this. It doesn't have a pay-to-win site like the Redemption SKS. It just happens to have some stylish transparency, okay? So I just want to make sure people are fully well aware. But again, you're still Popstar skin. It's very popular. The fact that you're selling so little only makes things so much more interesting. Let's also point out the Metal Shopfront from Hell. This is also projected to be the lowest selling Metal Shopfront skin we've seen so far. Wow. But then again, you are selling for a high price. Fair enough. But that's not out of the ordinary. We've seen that happen with many other From Hell skins in the past. And do take notice, quite a lot of these skins from the past are actually doing quite all right. Not all of them, but a lot of notable ones. So, fairly in-demand collection, very notable, very well known. And also consider this, right? With this potentially becoming the lowest selling skin, Halloween's also just around the corner. I'm sure you've seen its design. I'm sure you'll probably look at that and think, you know what, maybe a lot of people might happen to like that, for their Halloween bases and whatnot, perhaps. We shall see. So, all right, cool, we'll see what becomes of that. But that is quite a surprise. And then, of course, Redemption Small Backpack. I mean, it's a lot easier to be able to look at this and figure this out, but look at that, wow. You do not look as if you're going to even reach 10,000 subscribers. Funny that. Didn't we have a very similar situation like a week or two ago with the large backpack? I'm just saying, So, okay, cool. So, yeah, that's quite a surprise. Just because people initially dismiss it doesn't mean there's nothing there to work with. But let's now talk about what we expect over the course of the next several weeks. So, I said this quite a lot last month. When I saw low sales in the Rust store, I said, you know what, guys? So as long as we see a collection continuation, all the better for these to rise up in price in the future. I said that a lot, didn't I? But what's the future right now? It's October. September, October, November, the dreaded autumn-fall seasonal dip. Unfortunately, pretty much all the previous years we've gone through October time, skins have dropped off bad, okay? This is a routine thing that happens pretty much every single year. I'm led to believe it's because we tend to see quite the drop-off with the player count every September, and then we suffer the repercussions as we go through October. But then after that, prices can't go any lower, and they start to rise up in price. As we steer towards December time, Christmas time, and then after that, New Year's, post-Christmas, January time, that is where we tend to see prices improve ever so nicely because a lot of people around the world, they have time off. So if we can just survive and endure October time, all right, you actually might start to see these skins rise up in price oh so nicely. Now, throughout the course of the next several weeks, so September, October, November, I mean, some of these skins still might get continuations. So like Endgame, that could turn into a much more interesting, like, deplorable collection. Apotheosis of War, we could still see hoodie pants, tier 2, boots and gloves. There's still possibilities of that. And yes, those skins would likely still spike in price as we go through the bad times. What I'm saying is, is by the time we reach January time, truly then is when we'll see prices reach much better prices, and that is when it's the best time to start selling your skins, okay? Now, of course, we're just about to wrap up August time. Whilst prices did do better compared to like last month and whatnot, it looks as if the peak prices happened at the very beginning of June this year. Yeah. Although I have seen some skins rise up to brand new all-time highs in August, it was the more valuable skins. So, anyway, it looks as if we're going to wrap up with the good times for now. And now we have to expect the bad times. But as I said, in the further future, once we hit January 2027, guys, immediately we have a weekend. So, of course, you will know a lot of people will be playing Rust. And for quite a lot of countries in the world, I'm sure they also have Monday off as well. I know we do. Do you? Feel free to comment below. But inevitably, a great start to the month will then lead to a very interesting January Forcewipe, okay? I'm expecting a lot of people to turn up. I'm expecting a lot of skins to rise up to brand new all-time high prices. Lots of people playing, much more demand for skins, much higher prices, great time to sell, okay? I know it's in a few months' time, but time moves quickly, all right? We just have to survive October time. If anything, if you've got money, look around at all the skins and pick up some skins. If skins are reaching rock bottom low prices in October, great time to buy. Ah, yes. So keep an eye out for with all these skins, because again, at first glance you might sit there and say, oh, there's no interest right now. Well, yeah, for now. In the future, there you go. So we'll see how that all turns out. I just want to kind of get that all in your head. You just got to be a little bit more optimistic, okay? Cool. So that was a nice 7-minute ramble. Shall I now go ahead and talk about what I personally believe will be the best investments for the week? Let's proceed with the conclusion. So, what do I think could work out quite nicely? Redemption small backpack. I know there'll be a lot more small backpacks in the future. It's a given. And again, we'll see Twitch drops. We'll see kick drops. It's inevitable. But guys, that is not looking as if it's going to sell that much. The collection is in demand. And we had the exact same scenario like 2 weeks ago with the large backpack. Look at it now. That's doing good. Now, of course, we are expecting prices to suffer as we go through the next several weeks. Once we hit October time, we'll see a lot of skins reach like low points. It's unfortunate, but it's inevitable. It happens pretty much every single year. But even then, after all that, I think that's in a very, very, very good position. And I still expect to see more redemption skins being accepted. Hopefully, one day, we see the redemption hoodie and pads being accepted. And if that happens, I could even see this spike in price. I certainly hope so. So, yes, that's in a good spot. It's not expected to sell that much. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. And pretty much the same thing can be said with the Popstar SKS. Now, guys, I do believe we're going to be better off with a buy order, for sure. And I'll quickly point out, with all the skins this week, only the Frog Cosplay Bucket Helmet and the tools, those are the only skins this week that are not abnormal, okay? But if we could wait it out until Wednesday, look at the sales that this has. I mean, guys, if it's going to end up potentially being the lowest selling SKS we've seen for now, I mean, Popstar? Really? Really? I can't help but assume that's going to have a nice rebound and work out oh so nicely as we go through January time. January 2027. So, all right, maybe we'll just stick with like a $2 bar on Wednesday. But if that only has like 7,000 subscribers, I doubt it, but you never know. But yeah, if it has like real low sales, yeah, I'm going to have to offer a pretty good price. Might even have to grab some. Because again, such low sales is quite a big surprise with a collection such as this. So, yeah, that's also looking interesting, but I'm definitely recommending you might want to stick with a barter, abnormal barter. And then, of course, I feel like I want to talk about the metal shopfront from hell. Look, another deplorable gets accepted. I could see that jump up in price so nicely. But again, with Halloween as well, with all the decorations that are being mentioned, and don't worry, we'll talk about that in a second, I think a lot of people would appreciate that. I could see a lot of people actually wanting to use this for Halloween with their fun Halloween builds and all that. So, okay, yeah, it's a higher price, but with such low sales, I'm not really expecting to see that many listed on the Steam market afterwards. If this only ends up with like 7,000 subscribers, and yes, if it ends up selling less than the Rainbow Pony Metal Shopfront, I mean, I think I'm going to have to jump onto it. I know this has dipped, but I still see this work out very nicely in the future. You might recall I bought 30 of these. I'm not worried about this now. I care more about how it behaves in the further future, all right? And that's going to be basically how I operate with this rush store, because you're only going to really see actual good profits in a few months' time. We're wrapping up August now. Prices are starting to stagnate and go down now. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that's what you're going to have to be aware of. And, well, that's what you're going to have to work with. So, aside from that, yes, we could see some interesting collection continuations for the Tier 3 and the Sheep Matador. I'm just not sure everything's going to be A-OK. But by default, I have to respect that they very likely will still spike them on spike price very, very nicely. So let me just quickly bring up the endgame Sheep Matador. It certainly is not going to sell as much as the Garage Door. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. That did over 30,000 subscribers. This would be lucky if it could reach half the amount of that. But I've seen so many instances in the past with a deplorable collection that kind of starts off with a Sheep Matador or a Garage Door, and as time goes on, the Sheep Matador and the Garage Door suffer. I think a great example of this is Ultramarine. You're fully well aware Ultramarine ended up with tons of skins accepted, right? We'll take a look and see what happens. Oh, you know what? That's not too bad. It's still retaining. And you know what? That's not too bad. But for quite a long time, these didn't do super great. I think Abyss is also a very good shout for this. Garage Door got accepted, and then eventually we saw the Sheep Matador. And what do I see now? Oh, there you go. And, well, that's not too bad. Unfortunately, we also tend to see quite a lot of collections that look like this as well. For a very long time, Too Many Optimus collection only consisted of these two skins. And they suffered really, really, really badly. And then eventually we did see other collection continuations, such as the Wooden Double Door and the Electric Furnace. These haven't even budged. They are suffering forever. So that's why I'm still somewhat hesitant about the Sheep Matador. Still looks nice, and by all means, if you like it, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated to want to keep putting out nice creative designs in the future. I will also point out, though, on the workshop right now, there is a Sheep Matador Double Door, and this weekend, I can't help but expect a lot more, okay? So, there is a possibility we could see that fairly soon. But even then, as time goes on, it still might suffer. We'll keep an eye on the sales, of course. Maybe we'll be better off with a Barda. That's a discussion for Wednesday night, okay? And then with the Tier 3, not everybody is super pleased with the design choice. It is what it is. It's not the skin creator's fault. He just simply provided the option, right? Not everyone is super behind the chest plate. I've seen that. And it also looks a little bit bugged, depending where the lighting is positioned in front of it. But yes, it doesn't seem to really blend in super great with the face mask. I mean, you can consider watching my rust rotation video to see that for yourself. So yeah, consider giving it a good watch. Skip ahead to the part where we showcase the clothing and armor, and tell me what you think. Are you a fan of it, or would you prefer the original chest plate design? Feel free to comment below. So yeah, I'm still a bit hesitant. So again, I'll clarify. I feel like the small backpack's fine. I feel you're better off with a Barda with the SKS and the From Hell metal shop front. But then, whilst I acknowledge the door and the Tier 3 could be okay, I'm not as confident in those. I know some of you might sit and say, but what about the Frog Cosplay Bucket Helmet and the Python and whatnot? I can't help but assume these other skins are just going to suffer. Although in the further future, I must respect, Frog Cosplay did eventually dig itself out of the hole it originally had. I'm still expecting that to probably drop off a fair bit. Being realistic. It's fun and it's goofy, and as you just saw with my thumbnail there, you can get like a full set. Still hoping for the boots and gloves, by the way. But I don't think it's going to catch on. I think they're still going to suffer. So, we'll see. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny store this week. And by all means, if you're happy and satisfied with all the words I've said, you're more than welcome to move on. But there's some interesting things on the horizon that I think quite a lot of you might be interested in. So, let's proceed with this now. Guys, keep an eye on the commits. Lots of interesting things are being talked about. Glass AK-47, it's getting so much talk about it as of now that it truly looks as if it's going to be the special DLC for September, alright? And that's happening in about 2 weeks' time. So, keep an eye out. Glass AK-47, an AK-47 made out of glass. You know? Is that going to be fully transparent? We'll find out. So, that's looking pretty interesting. But then we also have the Halloween DLC. I just mentioned this a little bit earlier as I was talking about the From Hell metal shop front. We're going to get garlands. We're going to get string lights. We're going to get a skull wall torch. We're going to get a brand new costume. Face Punch are really going into it with the Halloween stuff this year, it seems. So, looking forward to it. Will the crypt building skin look oh so nicely with all this brand new Halloween content? Oh, we shall see. Then we've got the Scrapkin being mentioned again. I'm still convinced this is going to be a sheet metal building skin, but right now it's not currently being worked on. I wouldn't be surprised if this probably ends up being the October DLC, or maybe November. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, a potential sheet metal building skin on the horizon. Keep an eye on this, right? Keep an eye on this. I'll also point out fruit trees. So if you aren't fully well aware, later this year, we're expecting the farming update. Cows, sheep, and apparently fruit trees. Only apples are mentioned at the moment. What other fruit trees would you look forward to? Or would you like to see being added? Feel free to comment below. But, okay, that's interesting. But again, be aware, cows, sheep, and apparently frogs. That's also been mentioned. But now let's also bring this up. Dogs. I reckon we're going to be able to acquire dogs. And they're going to probably like rear all the sheep and the cows. Like, oh, the cow's gone all the way over there. All the sheep's gone all the way over there. All right, Spot, go on, get him, get him. So, yeah. Might have them as pets. They might have roles and jobs and whatnot. They might be there just to protect the base, you know? So, we'll see how this goes. But Facepunch has been talking about dogs as early as like 2022. I remember ages ago when they were bringing it up in a blog post. So, we'll see what happens. But now with this proposed farming update, they might actually have like a role and a job and a use. So, all right, cool. Looking forward to it. You should also consider keeping an eye on Mr. Protox. So if I could switch over to here, I can confirm that I've retweeted a couple of his things a little bit earlier. And, well, that's just my stuff. I don't like this update. I don't like this update with Twitter. I don't know what they're doing. There you go. Protox is the one to keep an eye on Twitter. He'll keep you informed of all the new things that are being worked on. And once it's on staging, he'll go ahead, make short videos and whatnot, showcasing everything. So yes, frogs are being mentioned. Keep an eye on Mr. Protox, okay? Stepladder. Cool. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that, but that sounds funny. So yeah, a stepladder is apparently being worked on. Wow. Can I also point out, with the recent rush stores that we've seen, basically, all these skins you see here, they didn't appear like this past weekend with the recent batch of submissions. They actually appeared the week before. I've mentioned this so much over the past few weeks, but it's only becoming more and more obvious. Yeah, it appeared in the previous Rust Workshop skin checks, the one before the most recent one. Which, of course, means if you want to get a good idea in regards to what potentially could be accepted in next week's Rust store, you're looking at it right now. There's a very decent chance that all the skins in next week's Rust store are right here, right there. Look at that. So what does that mean? Well, I'd recommend that you consider watching the Rust Workshop skin checks for August 18, 2026. If you just want to skip ahead to all the collection continuations, they're all there. They're all there. So as we've already mentioned, you got the endgame sheet metal double door. You got the first ever Thundergirl deplorable, that being Electric Furnace. You got the Pirate Barbecue. You've got a certain brand new Skinnable. That won't happen until September. We've also got like a cartoon MP5 with transparency, Whiteout Thompson, Black Ops roadside gloves, boots and gloves again as a version 2. So, yep, quite a lot to look forward to. But did you notice, as I mentioned, the brand new Skinnable? And did you catch a glimpse of it as I passed it over to here? Guys, you will want to keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend because a lot more wood armor skins will get posted because, of course, it's the brand new Skinnable for September 2026. The first batch was the Junglewood armor produced by Vlek. Yes, it's green. We'll see if it's allowed. We'll see if it's allowed. Cheap early game green camouflage. We'll see, buddy. We'll see. But yes, that's a perfectly fine looking design. We also happen to have the fish collection. Wow. So what I'm going to do, right, is look in the description right now. You will see a link for all the wood helmet skins, okay? I don't think you need to see like every single piece. So as long as you got one, you'll be able to see all the others, I'm sure. Like, if I go over to here right now, yes, we also happen to point out, we also have Waterpipe as the focused item of the month. I'll also link that in the description. But yeah, all I've got to do is just click this, click most recent, yep, there you go, and there you go. Now, I will clarify, you see this guy here? He submitted like multiple skins in the same week. That's not going to be allowed. His skins aren't going to be accepted. Not happening. But what you see here, yeah, these actually have a decent chance. But there will be more, okay? I'm not sure if Facepunch is going to group these in certain ways, such as like, well, as you can see, both of these guys only did the helmet, the body, and the legs. Where's the gloves? Well, they didn't do them. is it going to be a group of 3 and then the gloves are separate? Or, again, because there's so many wood armor skins, Face Puncher's like, we're probably going to have to split them up. It could be a case of the helmet and the gloves and then the chest and the pants. We'll see how things turn out as time goes on with these Rustors. The wood armor is the brand new Skinnable for September, and the Waterpipe is the brand new focused item. So lots of interesting potential skins on the horizon. We shall see. Sorry if I went a little bit awkward there. I didn't expect to see that right there next, sorry. But you are aware. Look forward to wood armor skins. Look forward to Waterpipe skins. Especially Waterpipes, because we really do not see many of them being accepted anymore. I've seen interesting designs in the past, but look at all the acceptances. There has been a drought. We've not seen a skin being accepted in about 2 years. But suddenly with so many skins being accepted, Right, cool. So that's pretty much everything that needs to be said. This is micro522.com. You can get a good look at all those skins and see that every single skin had a positive upvote to downvote ratio. So no complaining, right? No complaining. But yeah, everything seems totally fine. Player count could be better. Could be better. It's not the end of the world, but it could have been better. Yeah, right. But stay optimistic. Let's now look forward to December and January time. Because again, with what's expected for the very beginning of January, I'm optimistic. I think that first week of January, we're going to see a lot of skin prices rise up so nicely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So, yep, try your best to get some sales in whilst you can. I certainly am trying. Like this account a week ago, it had no money. It had 0. But as you can see, try to put an effort in, try to get those sales in. Money go up, money go up, money go up. Yes. Yeah. So it's still worth it to try and get those sales in whilst you can, because with what's going to happen over the course of the next several weeks, prices will be dropping off. And you know what? Sell now, get a little bit of profit, buy the skins again. In about, 6 weeks' time? Yeah, maybe 2 months' time, we'll see. But you very likely will be able to pick up your skins for a much cheaper price and still have a little bit of the profit left. So that might be something to consider. Right, so that's it. That's everything. Feel free to comment out of all these skins, which one is your favourite? Which of these skins do you personally believe will work out as the best investment for the week? Catch you later. See you, goodbye.